The sound of a 90-pound St. Bernard knocking a toddler to the floor is unmistakable. Sarah heard it from the kitchen, that heavy, dull thud that makes every parent's blood stop. She dropped the dish towel and ran. Rocky had Emma pinned. The toddler was flat on the carpet, face up, the dog's massive head lowered directly over the child's face. Emma was crying, not screaming, just that confused, frightened cry that meant something hurt, but nothing was broken yet. "Rocky!" "No!" Sarah grabbed the dog's collar and pulled hard. Rocky resisted. For the first time since they'd brought him home 3 years ago, he didn't obey immediately. His body was rigid. His eyes stayed locked on Emma. She pulled harder. The dog finally stepped back, but slowly. Reluctantly, Emma sat up, tears streaming, reaching for Sarah. No visible injuries, no blood, just scared. But that sound, that thud. She scooped Emma up and carried the toddler to the couch, heart still racing. Rocky stood exactly where she'd pulled him, staring at them both. His tail wasn't wagging. His ears were forward, alert, not guilty, not ashamed, just watching. When Mike got home that evening, Sarah was still shaken. She explained what happened. The sound. The way Rocky had Emma on the floor. The way he wouldn't move when she called him. Mike knelt down and checked Emma carefully. No bruises. No bumps. The toddler was already playing again, completely fine. But Sarah wasn't fine. "He's never done anything like that," Mike said. "I know. That's what scares me." Mike looked at Rocky. The dog sat in the corner of the living room, eyes moving between Mike and Emma. Calm. Steady. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe Emma startled him. It didn't feel like an accident. It felt deliberate. That night, they kept Rocky in the laundry room while Emma slept. It felt wrong. He'd never been locked away before, but Sarah couldn't shake the image of that moment, the weight of the dog on top of their child. The next morning, it happened again. Sarah was changing Emma's diaper when Rocky came into the nursery. He walked directly to the changing table and pressed his nose against Emma's face, not sniffing, pressing. "Rocky, back." Now, still nothing. She physically pushed him away. He took 2 steps back, then immediately moved forward again, nose going straight to Emma's mouth. Sarah's patience snapped. "Out! Now!" Rocky finally left, but only after she raised her voice to a level that made Emma start crying. That afternoon, Sarah called the vet. The vet listened carefully, asked questions. How old was Rocky? Had there been any other behavior changes? Any aggression toward other people? No, just Emma. The vet was quiet for a moment, then said, "It might be stress. Sometimes dogs react unpredictably when there's a baby in the house, especially if they were used to being the center of attention." Sarah thanked her and hung up. By that evening, she'd made the decision. Rocky couldn't stay. Mike didn't want to believe it. He'd raised Rocky from a puppy, trained him, trusted him, but he'd also seen the fear in Sarah's face. He'd heard the description of that moment, the dog on top of their child, refusing to move. That night, Rocky slept in the garage. Sarah lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. She felt guilty. She felt scared. She felt like she was betraying a family member. But every time she closed her eyes, she saw Rocky's head hovering over Emma's face, and her chest tightened. At 2:47 a.m., the baby monitor lit up. Emma was crying. Not the usual fussy cry. Something else. A strange weak sound. Sarah sat up immediately and grabbed her phone. The video feed showed Emma in the crib, barely moving. She ran. Mike was right behind her. When they opened the nursery door, Rocky was already inside. He'd somehow gotten out of the garage, somehow made it through the house, somehow opened the nursery door, or it hadn't latched. He was standing on his back legs, front paws on the crib rail, nose pressed against Emma's face. "Rocky, get back!" Mike grabbed the dog and pulled him away. Sarah reached into the crib and lifted Emma. The toddler's skin was pale, cold. The crying had stopped. Something's wrong. The paramedics arrived in 6 minutes. One of them took Emma from Sarah's arms, checked vitals, asked rapid-fire questions. When did this start? Any fever? Any vomiting? The second paramedic noticed Rocky. He was standing in the hallway, completely still, eyes fixed on Emma. Has the dog been acting strange? Sarah nodded, barely able to speak. Yes, for 2 days. Then looked at Sarah. We need to get to the hospital now. At the ER, a doctor examined Emma thoroughly. Blood tests, monitoring. Then she came back into the room with a printout and a very serious expression. Your daughter's airway was partially blocked, the doctor continued, her voice calm but firm. Another 8 minutes and we would be having a very different conversation. She looked at both parents. What made you bring Aher in tonight? The pale skin? The doctor nodded slowly. And the dog? Sarah looked at Mike. He looked back at her. He wouldn't leave Emma alone, Sarah said quietly. For 2 days, we thought he was being aggressive. The doctor's expression softened. Dogs can detect breathing obstruction before we can. It's documented. The change in scent, in breath chemistry, they pick it up long before symptoms are visible to us. He was trying to tell you. When they brought Emma home 3 days later, Rocky was waiting by the door. Sarah knelt down and put her arms around his neck. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. Rocky exhaled slowly, leaning into her. That night, Emma slept in the crib. Rocky slept on the floor beside it. No one asked him to. He just did.